Well, President Trump is threatening land strikes against alleged drug dealers as the U.S. military announces new attacks on suspected drug boats. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said in Monday's strikes, the Eastern Pacific hit 4 alleged drug boats, killing 14 people. The Mexican Navy says that it's searching for one survivor. President Trump addressed the strikes earlier today while speaking to U.S. troops in Japan.
We're knocking them out one by one, and very importantly, we've almost stopped completely the drugs coming in by sea. And now we'll stop the drugs coming in by land. That's going to be very easy.
Our ABC News senior Pentagon reporter Luis Martinez is following the latest, joining me now. So, Luis, does the Pentagon have evidence that they're sharing that confirms that these are drug boats?
Kayna, they are not. All they are releasing is just a video of these individual strikes that we keep playing on our air, because that is how they prove that the airstrikes did take place. However, when it comes to questions about how do they know that these are drug boats, how do they know that the individuals aboard are drug smugglers, they are not able to provide that information, nor are they able to provide any indication that what the cargo that is aboard some of these craft are in fact drugs that are being smuggled towards the United States, as is being claimed by the administration. One of the videos actually does show, that was released today, does show some bales on the open part of one of these craft, but it's hard to, again, to prove whether that was in fact some drugs that are being brought towards the United States.
Are we hearing anything from the Mexican government?
We know that President Sheinbaum said earlier today that they had been informed by the Mexican Navy that the United States had contacted them so that they could take charge of this rescue operation for the one survivor that was found and that was spotted after one of these attacks. But it's unclear right now whether their Mexican Navy rescue efforts have located that survivor. And what we did hear from Sheinbaum was that she was calling in the United States ambassador to get a briefing on the exact nature of these incidents. We do know that if you have the Mexican Navy involved, this is obviously going to be close to Mexican waters. When I spoke to some officials, they said that some of the strikes that took place yesterday did in fact take place off the coast of Western Central America. But again, so far no indication that they've been able to find this survivor.
Louis, there's been so much talk about the potential here for land strikes after we've heard what the president has said. What's the latest?
Well, the latest is that it's very confusing, Kayna, because we're not exactly sure what it is that the president is trying to say. He's been talking about land routes in some situations, because obviously he's been talking about how the sea routes have been affected. He's making the claim that the routes towards, being used by some of these mariners headed towards the United States, that the flow of drugs has stopped that way. It's unclear how he can prove that. But at the same time, he's talking about land routes, which has led to speculation that he's talking potentially about striking at certain facilities, either in Venezuela or in Colombia. And if that's the case, we're talking maybe about some lab locations where some of these drugs are being made. But again, how do you do that? And we know that there is air power that is in the region. We know that there are 10 F-35s. We know that there is an aircraft carrier group on the way. But again, it's really unclear, because when I talk to officials, they don't really have anything, any kind of information that will be forthcoming indicating that something is in the offing.
You mentioned the aircraft carrier group on the way. That's the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier strike group, right, that's been ordered Central South American waters there. Louis, what does that signal about the U.S. posture in the region to send that kind of firepower there?
No, it's a big signal, Kayna. It's about 10,000 forces that are in the region right now, and then you have the 5,000 that are coming in from the carrier. But we should talk about the optics. The optics are that you're sending an aircraft carrier with more than 60 aircraft to the region. But we should also remind our viewers that it takes quite a bit of time for some of these large vessels to make their way across the ocean, because as of just yesterday, we learned that the aircraft carrier Ford had just left Croatia. So it's the Adriatic Sea, has to make its way across the Mediterranean and then across the Atlantic Ocean. So it will not be there for at least 2 weeks. But again, by ordering the carrier there, it sends a message that there will be a buildup there, and I think that's part of the game here, playing a tough line against the cartels as well as Venezuela.
No question. All right, Louis, thank you for being here with us today.